Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. According to Ling Xiaobo, the U.S. Department of Commerce has acted to close a significant loophole that could have allowed American technology companies to export their most advanced semiconductors to Chinese entities operating outside of China. This potential vulnerability, which reportedly existed for a year, could have facilitated the flow of cutting-edge chips, such as NVIDIA's new generation AI platforms, Rubin Ultra and Blackwell processors, as well as AMD's MI35 DICs, to Chinese-backed firms located in places like Malaysia. Insiders suggest that Washington became aware of this flaw through a circulated document, prompting the Commerce Department to issue new guidance on Sunday, May 30. This move underscores the U.S.'s ongoing efforts to restrict China's access to critical AI development capabilities. A chip industry source familiar with supply chains estimated that hundreds of thousands of advanced chips might have been exported through this loophole. The new Commerce Department guidance clarifies that advanced chip license requirements will now be enforced on Chinese-headquartered entities, regardless of their location outside mainland China. Neither the U.S. Commerce Department, NVIDIA, nor AMD immediately responded to Reuters' request for comment. According to Israeli media outlet Channel 12, Israel is reportedly seeking United States support to expand its military operations against the Lebanese group Hezbollah, potentially including airstrikes on Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu recently held a phone conversation with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, attempting to persuade the U.S. to back Israel's stance. The report further indicates that the Israeli military has submitted multiple operational plans to its leadership, with some outlining military actions in Beirut. An Israeli official noted that the U.S. has shown a more open attitude regarding these actions, though final approval has not yet been granted. This development follows Netanyahu's earlier pledge to deepen military incursions into Lebanese territory, specifically mentioning the capture of the strategic Beaufort Ridge stronghold as a significant shift in Israeli policy. Meanwhile, Lebanon's health ministry reported that Israeli attacks on May 31st in Deir Zara, southern Lebanon, resulted in 8 fatalities, including 3 women. This news comes from Lebanese Sevenloin Hiccup Shral. Thai Sounds reports that during the Shangri-La Dialogue Security Forum, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth became the first U.S. defense chief in over a decade, not to mention Taiwan in his speech, signaling a softer approach. He articulated a tough, low-key, clear US policy for the Indo-Pacific, stating that US-China relations were the best in years. Hegseth quoted former President Theodore Roosevelt's "Speak softly and carry a big stick" to explain the U.S. strategy, seemingly aiming to persuade allies that a low-profile stance on Taiwan best projects U.S. power. Analysts suggest this move, at least for now, gives China an advantage, especially with a pending $14 billion U.S. arms sale to Taiwan. However, 2 key U.S. military allies, Japan and the Philippines, took a much harder line against China at the same forum. Japan's defense minister Shinjiro Koizumi made unusually direct remarks, calling China's accusations of Japan's new militarism strange. Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. criticized China for disregarding the South China Sea arbitration ruling and suggested Taiwanese citizens might seek refuge in the Philippines if a conflict erupted in the Taiwan Strait. This dynamic highlights a new phase in the U.S.-China rivalry at the Shangri-La dialogue, with the U.S. showing moderation while its allies adopt a more confrontational stance. According to reports from the overseas English media Iran International, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian allegedly submitted his resignation on Sunday, May 31st. The report, citing informed sources, indicates that Pezeshkian expressed dissatisfaction with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, ATE, sidelining him from government governance and major decision-making, effectively excluding the presidential office and civilian government from critical national affairs. He reportedly stated that under such conditions, he could no longer govern the country or fulfill his legitimate duties. This alleged resignation highlights severe internal strife within Iran's top leadership, especially after what the article describes as a click-up by U.S. and Israeli forces in late February. However, the Iranian presidential office's press officer, Mehdi Tabatabai, quickly refuted the report on X, formerly Twitter, denouncing it as fake news and a media war from certain foreign media outlets. Tabatabai asserted that Pezeshkian would not abandon his service to the Iranian people and that Iran would not waver from its path of unity. This news comes from Thai Sounds. A massive explosion occurred around noon on May 31st at a building suspected of storing mining explosives in Kaun Tup Village, Nam Kan Township, Shan State, northeastern Myanmar, according to AP News via Yahoo. News rescue workers and local independent media reported over 45 fatalities and approximately 70 injuries. One rescue official stated that 46 bodies, including 6 children, were recovered and cremated by Sunday night, and 74 injured individuals were transported to a township hospital. Another rescue worker mentioned about 40 deaths and over 100 damaged homes. Local online media reported a death toll ranging from 50 to 55, sharing photos and videos of smoke and debris. China's state broadcaster CCTV also covered the incident, confirming the storage of a large quantity of mining explosives for operations, numerous casualties, and severe residential damage, with local authorities providing aid. The area is under the control of the Taang National Liberation Army, TNLA, an ethnic armed organization engaged in intermittent conflict with the central government. The TNLA issued a statement on Telegram, acknowledging that its economic department had stored a type of dynamite for mining and quarrying purposes, and is currently investigating the cause of the explosion. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.